Okay, good morning. I hope you are all staying warm on this chilly Wednesday morning. My name is Nalini and I'm going to be taking you through a 60-minute yoga stretch. We're going to be trying to get to every part of the body that needs stretching this morning. And because it is cooler, we're not going to go too deep into anything. We want to be wary of overstretching cold muscles. So make sure you are warm. If you have a jumper or a blanket to put around you, we're going to start off in a cross-legged position. I'm not using any particular props today, but if there's anything you know you like to have with you, please grab it. And we're going to start in our Sukhasana, so easy cross-leg. We're going to aim today, instead of taking the knees nice and wide, to have the knees a little closer together, so we start to make more of a squarish shape with the legs. So walking the feet toward the opposite knee. Doesn't matter what leg is in front, we will swap it over. And this might feel a little more contained or sort of tighter, and that's okay. You can still raise your hips up on something if it's feeling a little strong. We'll likely feel this a little more in the lower back and the glutes than we do when we take the knees wide, which is more in the thighs. So sitting tall, making sure both sit bones are grounded evenly into whatever is beneath you, whether it be your mat or a prop. Oh, no sound. Why can't you hear me? Give me 1 minute. Find your seat. Just testing the sound. Can you hear me now? All right, let's get back into it. Okay, so we've found our cross-leg position. Sitting with a long spine. And we'll turn the palms to face up on the knees or the thighs. And as you turn the palms to face up, notice the upper arms roll outwards slightly. The elbows can draw down. The shoulders move back. And there is a slight opening across the chest. Start to breathe into this opening. Eyes close when you're ready. And we feel the breath enter and leave the body. Notice how the breath feels on this cooler morning. You might notice more deeply the change in temperature between your inhale and your warmer exhale. This change in temperature indicates the heat, the warmth that we hold within our bodies. And this warmth that is especially in the center of the body, so in our core, radiating outward. So as you sit here in your mind's eye, visualize this light, this warmth at your center. It might have a color. With your breath, start to send it outward to encompass your whole body. You send the warmth down the legs, toward the feet, up across the shoulders and down the arms toward the fingers. Right up the spine and through the crown of the head. Using the breath to warm the body. encompassing ourselves with this vibrancy, this warmth, so we can move safely through our practice this morning. Just taking a few more long breaths here to settle. We're going to start off today with a few gentle neck stretches. So on your next exhale, turn your palms to face down on your knees, maybe noticing a bit more warmth, palms facing down. Keep the eyes closed as you inhale. Draw your chin upward slightly, not all the way toward the ceiling, just bringing a little opening to the front of the neck. And as you exhale, draw your chin downward, as if your chin is a pencil and you're drawing a line right down to the space in between the collarbones. Inhale, draw that line upward, and now start to send it high toward the ceiling. Exhale, bring the line back down to the space in between the collarbones, moving fluidly, moving with the breath. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, the line draws up, straight up rather than back. Exhale, bring it down. Keep the shoulders relaxed. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, draw the line up. Exhale, draw the line down. I'm going to start to make a semicircle now, like the bottom of a boat. So chin starts at the chest, and as you inhale, draw the line upward to one edge of the boat. And as you exhale, circle back down and towards center. Inhale upward toward the other side. Exhale down and in towards center. We'll do two more either side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Moving fluidly, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, and we're going to turn this arc into circles. So inhale to the side and then circle up toward the ceiling. Exhale to the same side and back down. Inhale to the other side and then up toward the ceiling. Finish that circle off. Exhale, same side and back down. So the top is the center. Inhaling to top. Exhaling back down, swapping sides. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more either side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, keeping with the circle, this time we're going to do complete circles. So inhale to one side and up. Exhale to the other side and down. Remember, the circle is being drawn with the chin. Two more this side. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side and down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Swapping sides, inhale. Exhale, maybe getting a few good little neck cracks in, inhale. Exhale. And one more on this second side, inhale. Exhale, we finish off with the chin drawing down in between the collarbones. All right, let's inhale, lift the head to center. Feel free to blink open your eyes if you wish, otherwise maybe keeping them closed and just listening for the movements. As you exhale, release your hands down by your sides, just fingertips toward the mat if they don't reach all the way there. Inhale, send the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. Then as you exhale, relax your right ear down toward your right shoulder. Keep your fingertips reaching downward toward the mat. Inhale, lift the crown of the head up to center. Exhale, left ear toward left shoulder. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, crown of the head up to center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, coming up to center. We'll go back to the right. Exhale, right ear relaxes to the right shoulder. The right hand comes on top of the left ear. And then the left palm pushes away from you. Imagine there's someone sitting beside you on your left side that you don't want them to be too close. So you push them with your palm for 3, 2, 1, relax your left hand, relax your right hand, inhale, head through center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder, left hand to right ear, right palm presses away. Flex through the palm and press with the heel of the hand. For 3, 2, 1, relax right hand, relax left hand. All right, we're going to switch the cross of the legs now. So leaning back, uncross your legs. Doesn't matter which one was in front. We're just taking the other leg in front. And again, squaring off the cross leg shape as much as possible by walking the feet inward toward the opposite knee. And it might feel a little different on this side. So knees are roughly in line with each other and roughly in line with the hips. It doesn't need to be a perfect square. That would likely be quite hard to make with your legs. Okay, so the legs are in place. Both sit bones are grounded, whether into the mat or into something that is raising your hips off the mat. Let's lengthen the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. And then we're going to reach the arms up toward the ceiling as well. Big breath in. Feel a little bit more length and aim to touch the ceiling. Then as you exhale, send your right hand down to the right. Inhale, reach your left arm up a little higher, maybe looking up. Exhale, creep your right fingertips out to the right as the left arm reaches up and over. We're going to take a deep breath in here and twist, chest towards ceiling. Then as you exhale, circle the left shoulder down toward the right knee just a little bit. So this movement does not need to be big. We're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale, open up, chest towards ceiling. Exhale, circle left shoulder toward right knee. 1 more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close the shape off. Okay, we're going to inhale, reach the left hand back up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, come back to center. So left hand comes down by the left side. Inhale, right arm up. Reaching up as high as you can. Exhale, creep your left fingertips out to the left. Right arm arches up and over. Keep grounding through your right sit bone. Inhale, open the chest toward the ceiling. Exhale, close the shape off, right shoulder toward left knee. It definitely doesn't need to get all the way there. Twice more. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, close it off. One more time, inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, coming back up, right hand towards ceiling. Use the exhale, right hand down by your right side. All right, let's inhale, both hands up. Reach up, look up, and then with the exhale, send the chest forward. Fingertips down to the mat in front of you. So this doesn't need to be super far in front. We can keep the hands either on the knees if that feels more accessible, if the lean forward is strong in the hips today, or if there is a little more space, maybe just grouping the fingertips a bit further forward. Wherever you are, you don't want to be at your max because we're going to move through. So hands to the knees is a great option, or fingertips down. As you inhale, imagine you're taking your chest in between your upper arms. Draw your chin up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, hollow out the belly, curl like an angry cat, chin toward chest. So this is a variation of our cat-cow. 2 more times. Inhale. With the legs crossed, we might not get quite as much movement. That's okay. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. If you have taken your hands forward, inhale, come back to center. We're all going to bring hands back to knees now. And we're going to try and isolate the rib cage as much as possible. So this place here, we're going to start to take it side to side. Hips stay where they are. Knees stay squarish. Hands onto knees. Draw your ribs out to the right. Back to center. Out to the left. Back to center. To the right. Back to center. To the left. Back to center. Okay, going forward and back now. Forwards. Back to center. And backwards. A little bit like our cat-cow. Back to center just one more time. Forwards. And then we'll join them all together in a circle. Center. Backwards. And center. Let's make that circle now. We'll start forward. Go to the right. All the way back. To the left. And forward. Swap directions to the left. Back. Right. Forward. Swap directions. Right. Back. Left. Forward. Swap. Left. Back. Right. Forward. Inhale, come back to center, release the knees. Exhale, take your hands back behind you, lean back, and let's uncross the legs. So soles of the feet come down to the mat. Please excuse my socks, my feet were cold. I'm gonna face this way. At hip distance apart. Soles of the feet are grounded, hands are down beside us, and after the hips have been still for quite some time in our cross leg, let's just give them a little bit of opening. Inhale. Use the exhale, drop the knees out to the left, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the right, look over your left shoulder. Twice more either side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left, look over the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right, look over the left. Once more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. So you can do the same thing one more time, or we're going to add on. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the left. Right arm is going to reach up. You have the option to stay here, or as you inhale, we do a little lift of the hips high toward the ceiling. Exhale, lower. So twice more if you're taking this option. Inhale, lift. Press out of the left shoulder. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your right hand back down by your right side. Swap sides. Back to center. Then knees out to the right. Right hand is down. Left arm reaches up. You can stay here, opening across the chest. Or inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, release the hips down. 2 more times if you're taking this option with the breath. 1 more. And then releasing the left hand back down to the mat, bringing the knees up to center. And we're going to make our way into a tabletop. Please excuse me, I'm just going to switch this positioning. All right, coming to a tabletop. We will start to use our feet now, so if you have socks on and your mat is quite slippery, might be a good time to take them off. So coming onto your knees and onto your hands. Finding your tabletop. Spreading the fingers a little bit wider and gripping down into the fingertips. We're going to inhale, rock forward, pulling your shoulders as far in front of your wrists as you can. And then exhale, rock back. Keep the hands where they are. Draw your hips as close to your heels as you can. Twice more. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, drawing back. 1 more time, deep breath in. And long breath out, hips toward heels. As they press back, bring the big toes together. Keep the knees just as wide as the hips. We don't want to take them too wide. Sometimes when we're moving into our child's pose, we can over-exaggerate the wideness of the knees, and it becomes way too much about the inner thighs, and we can throw the hips out a little bit. So we want to keep the knees hip distance apart here, because we're not going to just sink into this child's pose. We're going to keep it quite active. So start to creep your hands forward. Draw your chin downward toward that space between the collarbones. And if the forehead doesn't reach the mat, that's okay. Just ensure the head is as relaxed as possible. Press down into your hands. And imagine that you're holding apples in your armpits. And try and tighten your grip on the apples by turning your armpits downward toward the mat. So we hollow out the armpits. So this is quite active. Keep pressing downward into the hands. And then imagine you're trying to pull your hands along the mat back toward you. A nice big opening for the shoulders. Take a full breath in. And take a long breath out. Okay, we're going to inhale here. As you exhale, release the elbows down to the mat and bring the hands together. Interlace the fingers. Keep pressing the elbows and holding those apples in your armpit. So the arms are still actively connected to the mat. Toes are together, hands are together. Elbows are shoulder distance, knees are hip distance. Inhale, come up until your hips are roughly over your knees, your shoulders are roughly over your elbows. As you exhale, dip your chin toward your hands. Inhale, come back to center. So we're creating some warmth in the body now. Exhale, draw back. As always, moving with the breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale back one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, coming all the way back. Release the interlace of the fingers. Inhale, lift your chest up a little, just so we can take the right arm under on the exhale. Come down onto the right shoulder. Forehead down to the mat. Left shoulder also downward toward the mat. So we're really making this about the right shoulder head. For 3. 2. And 1. Listening carefully, left hand is going to creep back toward you so it comes underneath the left shoulder. Press down into it. Inhale, unthread your right arm from underneath you. Bring it up toward the ceiling. Exhale, circle your right fingertips down to the mat behind you. Inhale, left arm reaches high. This might be more than enough. We want to stay here, opening through the chest. If you feel you've got a little bit more space to move, use the next breath in, lift the hips. Keep drawing belly button to lower back. Feel a nice big stretch across the hip flexors. Exhale, hips down. Twice more. Keep the center active if you are lifting. Inhale. So you control the lift just as much as the descent. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, both hips, and then left hand comes down. Coming back forward, sinking back into what our child's pose, this time taking the shoulder stretch on the other side. So it's left arm that threads under, and then forehead melts down toward the mat. Right shoulder is also reaching down toward the mat. So we're not twisting this, getting nice and heavy toward both shoulders. Listening for your breathing. For 3. 2. 1. It's the right hand this time that creeps back toward you. Right hand presses down underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, unthread the left arm from underneath you. Reach up high. Exhale, circle the left hand back behind you, fingertips toward the mat. Right arm reaches up toward the ceiling. So option to stay here or getting nice and strong through your center. Inhale, slowly pressing the hips upward and forward. Exhale, slowly releasing the hips back down toward your heels. 2 more times if you're taking this option. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, both hands forward. Inhale, hips up, and then separating the feet, coming back in toward our tabletop for the exhale. We're going to come into a heart opener now. So keeping hips above knees. Notice if they want to pull back. Notice if they want to pull forward, and try and keep that stacking. Start to walk the hands forward. Sinking the chest downward toward the mat and allowing the head to hang heavy. If it reaches, forehead can come down. And if it doesn't quite reach, that's okay. Just keep ensuring the heaviness of the head. Palms are pressing actively down into the mat. Refine those apples underneath your armpits and hold on to them. Roll the armpits downward. Feel a slightly different opening of the shoulders. And if your forehead is resting heavy on the mat and it is quite comfortable for you to be here, you might want to add a little extra challenge by taking the chin to the mat instead.
Maybe even lowering the chest all the way down if that feels accessible for you today. This is a big opener on the shoulders. So taking it moment by moment, breath by breath. Not pushing, not letting the ego take control of your practice. Instead, allowing sensation to guide you. For 3, 2, 1. Press down into the hands. Lift the head, look forward toward your hands. Lift the elbows, and then walk the hands back in underneath the shoulders. We're going to pick the right foot up now and step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. So not too far forward, we're not going into a super big lunge, just to the outside of the hand, so the left hip is still over the left knee. We can just go fingertips down to the mat, or if you have blocks or something to raise your hands, this is a really good opportunity to do so. So hips are as even as possible in space, and we try and maintain this by drawing the left hip forward slightly, the right sit bone back slightly. We're going to move the hips forward and back together, trying to keep them as even as possible. So ground through the right foot, lift through the chest. Inhale, draw the hips forward. Remember, not to your maximum lunge. Exhale, draw the hips back. That right leg does not need to come to straight. 2 more times. Inhale, draw forward. Keep the right knee hugging in toward the right shoulder. This will ensure more evenness through the hips. Exhale, draw back. 1 more time. Inhale, drawing forward. Exhale, drawing back. Inhale, draw forward. And so we really don't want to be going too low because we are going to lift the hands up off the mat. So keep your right knee hugging in, squeezing the inner thighs in toward each other, chest forward. Get light in your fingertips. And this might be enough today. Listen to your body. Otherwise, if it feels accessible, hands come off the mat and toward your heart. Left hip forward, right sit bone back for 3, 2, 1. If your hands are at your heart, inhale, send them up toward the ceiling. Exhale, circle the hands forward and then down again to the inside of the right foot. Now the left palm is going to plant fully, whether that be on the mat or on a block. The right hand is going to come to the right knee. And I'm going to turn to face you so you can see this better. We're going to turn the right toes out toward the top right corner of the mat and then start to roll toward the outside edge of the right foot. Keep pressing out of the left shoulder. Start to press the right knee gently away from you to draw the right shoulder back. Stay lifted through the chest. And we're just going to be here for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, drawing the right knee back in, enough to ground the right foot. And then we're going to walk the right foot in toward center. So the right foot was a little bit wider than a normal lunge before. Now we're bringing it in. From here, press your right hand onto your right knee. And then inhale, lift the left arm forward and up. Really nice. Keeping the hips even. So left hip forward, right hip back. Tailbone starts to tilt downward to support this shape. We're going to reach the right hand up as well. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, plug the elbows down, squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. 2 more times here. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, plug the elbows down and squeeze.
One more time, inhale. Exhale. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up, and as you reach the arms up, pull the hips back. Remember, the hips are staying as even as possible. Press into your right heels, flex your right toes up. Exhale, circle both arms, the right arm, both arms forward and down, maybe onto your blocks or just fingertips to the mat. Now, this is actually the first time that our right leg is straight in this whole practice. So if it's feeling a little tight through the back of the leg, through the hamstring, that is very understandable. So not pressing yourself downward to 100% here, just feeling it out, giving it some space. Notice how it feels to start to work your right sit bone back in space. Notice how it feels to press a little more firmly through the right heel. That right leg does not need to be straight in order for us to get a really nice big stretch here. Let's take a couple more breaths. Notice how the inhale lifts the chest, lengthens the body, and how the exhale creates a sense of softness, of surrender. Okay, beautiful. If you've started to fold forward, come back up, inhale. Exhale, we're going to bend back through that right knee until the knee comes over the ankle. Inhale, sweep the hands forward and up, just to lift up. Exhale, bring hands to heart. So we're still right foot forward. I'm now going to work us, excuse me, I'm losing my pants, into a little bit of a twist. So we're going to go left elbow to the outside of the right knee. I'm going to keep face onto you because I'm going to show you what tends to happen when we come into this shape and how we can avoid it. So at the moment, my legs are in line with my hips. I'm going to twist left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Quite often here, what happens is that right knee starts to pull to center. And maybe we get a big sensation through the outer side of the right hip. It can be a bit nice, but we're losing our line and we're doing funny things to that right knee, so we don't want to do this. We want to make this shape a lot more about the twist. So draw the right knee back out. Press your right knee out into your elbow until it comes back over the ankle. Already we've deepened the twist through the torso. Now we press left elbow into right knee without letting the right knee move so that we can draw the right shoulder back in space as much as possible. Press right hand into left hand, draw the right shoulder back, and maybe allow your head to turn back, completing the twist right up to the neck. Check in with your breath, notice what's happening. Can we keep the breath long and steady? The twist might feel like a little challenge on the balance today, that's okay. Feeling it out for 3, 2, 1. We're going to untwist from the top down. So if you're looking back, look down first, and then start to release through the shoulders, release the pressure of the left elbow onto the knee, and then come all the way up. Big breath in. Exhale, circle the hands forward and down. Tuck your left toes under your back toes. Lift your left knee, and we're going to step the left foot forward in space. Feet hip distance apart, soften the knees, rest belly onto thighs. Allow head to hang heavy and come down into a forward fold. Maybe the eyes close. Let's take a few nice big breaths here. Any variation with the arms that feels good for you, you can wrap your arms around your legs. You can take hold of opposite elbows or take hands to the back of the head. Maybe bringing a little bit of movement in by swaying side to side. Or maybe enjoying relative stillness in this shape. We'll take a couple more breaths.
And then whatever hand variation you've taken, releasing your hands back down to the mat. And we're going to walk it back into our downward facing dog. So as we've worked so far, the right leg has had a bit of a stretch. The left leg has not just yet. So keep the knees a little soft. Send the sit bones up toward the ceiling. Press downward and forward through your hands. Refine those apples underneath your armpits. Roll them in. Hold the apples to stabilize across the shoulders. 3 breaths here. Head is heavy. Back of the neck is long. Gaze is either to your knees or maybe even to your belly button. Beautiful. Use your next exhale to release your knees down to the mat. And then we're stepping the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand, and we're going to do all that on the other side. So just fingertips to the mat, nice and lightly, or you can raise your hands up onto blocks. As you draw the hips forward, remember it doesn't need to be big. Keep the hips even. So we're working the left sit bone back on this side, the right hip bone forward, hugging left knee in toward left shoulder. Just as proud. So not sinking into this 150%, but keeping stability as we seek a sensation of stretching, of opening. Okay, we're going to start those movements back and forward. So hips stay even. As you inhale, lengthen the chest forward. As you exhale, draw the hips back together. Twice more. Inhale, proud through the chest. Exhale, drawing back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Then coming back forward on the inhale. We're going to lift the chest a little more, so stay even through the hips. Get lighter in the fingertips, and we can stay fingertips down on the mat if that's what's working today. Otherwise, so light through the hands that we lift all the way up. Work right hip forward, left sit bone back, hands to heart. Chest is proud. Crown of the head is lifted. For 3. Squeezing the inner thighs, drawing inward and upward. For 2. For 1, if your hands are at your heart, inhale, send them high to the sky. Exhale, circle your hands back forward and down, both to the inside of the left leg. Now the right palm is going to press firmly down. The left palm is going to come to the left knee. Push out of your right shoulder. Your right palm can be on a block. Give yourself a little bit more height. Turn your left toes out toward the top left corner of the mat. And then roll toward the outside edge of the left foot. Gently start to press your left knee away from you. But we're rolling to the outside of the foot, so the ankle and the knee stay in one line. We're not pressing the knee out of line. Use that slight press, that gentle press, to draw the left shoulder back, and then maybe even start to look back. So we're not sinking down into this shape, we're pressing away from the mat. We're lifting up, proud through the chest. For 3. 2. 1. And then coming back. Bring the sole of the left foot back down to the mat, draw the left knee back in, and then shuffle that left foot toward the center line. It doesn't want to come all the way to center, but just to bring the legs closer toward each other, feet around hip distance apart. Left hand presses into left knee. Squeeze the inner thighs to stabilize through the hips. Get light in your right hand. Inhale, circle it forward and up. And then we're going to reach the left hand forward and up as well.
Okay, working on the shoulders here. So lifting through the chest, tilting the tailbone down. Inhale, reach the hands a little bit higher. And then exhale, plug the elbows downward. Focus this time on really squeezing the shoulder blades toward each other. 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up. Keep the hips even. The legs are active to maintain the shape. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Cool. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. And then we're going to draw the hips back evenly in space. Exhale, circle the hands forward and down either side of your left leg. Flex your left toes up toward the ceiling. So we're focusing more here on evenness through the hips by working that left sit bone back and pressing down into the left heel. If that left leg is not completely straight, that is absolutely fine. Hands can be up on blocks or fingertips to the mat. Inhale, work the chest forward. Keep the chest proud, keep the length that you've created, and then use the exhales to find some more softness in the shape. We've got a few breaths here. And this is the first time this left leg is working towards straight in this practice, so be gentle. Work with sensation. Give yourself time, especially on these cooler mornings, to open. Let's take one more deep breath in. And full breath out. Okay, inhale, lifting the chest, looking forward. Exhale, bending through the left knee until the left knee comes directly over the left ankle. Inhale, coming all the way up. We're going to bring hands toward heart and then work ourselves into that twist. So remember, I showed you from on, we don't want the left knee to creep in. Instead, we want to keep it strong where it is as we lean forward. Hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. You can look down to check because your head's pretty much above your knee now. You want chin, knee, ankle in one line. To maintain this, you keep a slight outward pressing of that left knee, and that helps you press the right elbow down into it to draw the left shoulder back. So we're lifting the belly away from that left thigh as much as possible, creating space, creating length in the twist. Draw the left shoulder back, and then maybe adding in the turn of the head. Right hip bone is pressing forward, left sit bone is drawing back to keep the hips as even as possible here as you draw up and away into this twist for 3. 2. 1, we'll untwist from the top down. So chin draws back downward to look down first, and then relax the right shoulder, relax the left shoulder. Untwist, we're going to bring both hands down to the mat. Tuck the right toes, your back toes. Lift the right knee. Step the right foot forward. We're coming back into our forward fold. Feet at hip distance apart. Knees nice and soft to allow the belly to rest completely on the thighs. And then this time we're going to reach the hands up and interlace the fingers. If this isn't accessible, if you feel really off balance or unstable here, please feel free to keep your hands on the mat. If the hands aren't reaching each other, you might want to take a hold of a strap or a piece of cloth. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other, send hands toward the ceiling, and then as is accessible, start to draw the hands overhead. Head is heavy. Breath is steady. For 3, 2, 1.
2, 1. If your hands are interlaced overhead, start to draw them back toward the lower back first. And then release the interlace of the fingers or let go of whatever it is you're holding onto. Hands come back down toward the mat for a little bit of stability. As we turn the toes out slightly, you might want to walk the feet a little wider. We're coming into our malasana. Inhale. If you can make your malasana shape with the toes still pointing directly forward, beautiful. Exhale. The turn out just gives us a little bit more space through the hips. So it's good to start with, and then we want to work those toes forward. So armpits press outward toward the insides of the knees. We'll bring hands to heart. Lengthen crown of the head up toward the ceiling. Sit bones downward toward the mat for 3, 2, 1, and we're going to, as slowly and as gracefully as possible, lower the sit bones down. So you might want to reach the hands forward in order to do this, bit by bit, reaching downward toward your mat and landing the hips. All right, fingers are going to come to big toes. We're taking the pointer and middle finger around the inside of the big toe. And this is just a little bit of fun. You get a little more stretch through the hamstrings. My heels are down on the mat. I'll turn to face you. Right heel stays down. Inhale, send the left leg as long as you can. And then exhale, bring the heel down. Inhale, right leg as long as you can. Use your breath. Exhale, heel down. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. No, down. Inhale, right. Exhale, down. You can do one more either side, or we have a little play with inhaling, lifting both heels away from the mat, sending the legs long as you can. Chest is proud for 3, 2, 1. Heels both come down. And then let's work the legs long. If you had something underneath your sit bones at the beginning of our practice, you might want to bring it back in here. Hands can come to your legs. Hand can come back a little to keep lifted through the chest, or hands can come forward in between the legs. Toes point up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Like a wave, roll the chest forward. Exhale. It doesn't need to be a big wave. Inhale, we're going to come straight back up. Exhale, relaxing forward and downward. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Before moving toward our Shavasana, inhale back up. We're going to revisit our the position that we started in. So we'll bend the left knee. We'll all take the same side this time. Cross the left foot in front of us. Bend the right knee, cross the right leg in front of the left, refinding that square shape by walking the feet toward the opposite knee, flexing out the ankles. Both hips are grounded. Maybe you're sitting up on something. If this is already feeling like a lot, let's stay here. Otherwise, the right ankle comes on top of the left knee, and we're working into a double pigeon. Good morning, glutes. Keep those feet flexed. If your right knee is hovering off your left ankle like mine, totally fine. If you have a pillow or a block, you can support it. You don't want to be pressing with your hands downward. So hands can be gently on your foot and your knee or down by your sides, or maybe if this is feeling quite strong, just back beside you a little bit. We're going to stay at center, or we're going to take 3 waves forward. Optional, okay? Inhale. If you're moving, move with me. Exhale, a little wave forward. Keep those feet flexed 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 1
One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come on back up. Remove your right foot from your left knee if it was there. And we're just going to switch those legs. Left leg comes in front. Square off. Stay here, or the left foot comes on top of the right knee. Feet are still flexed. Or sit bones are grounded, whether that be into the mat or into something that you're sitting on. And this side might be completely different. I'm a little bit more open through this side, so my left knee sinks down toward my heel easier. You might feel it the opposite way. This side feels a little stiffer. Totally fine, not pressing, not pushing, just recognizing these little differences. We can work toward evening them out. We don't need to practice with a fully even body all the time. It's just not something that's going to happen. All right, so whatever this side is telling you, listen. Then if you're wanting to make those little waves with me, we inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come on up. Lean the hands back so you can uncross the legs, bring the soles of the feet down, and then send the legs towards straight. Doesn't need to be all the way straight. We're not going to be too alignment focused with this. Just one nice big opening on the lower back. Let's all inhale, reach all the way up. Knee stays bent as they need to. Exhale, melt forward, belly to thighs. Head hangs heavy for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up. We're making our way now into our Shavasana. If you have a couch or a wall near you, you might want to take your legs up the wall or up the couch in a supported Viparita Karani. Otherwise, we'll make our full Shavasana. Make sure you're warm. Lengthening downward onto the mat. So whatever shape that you've chosen, making your way down into it now. If your legs are up the wall or up the couch, hands might feel more comfortable on the belly. Otherwise, hands rest down by your side, palms face up. And we start to bring awareness to the parts of the body that are in contact with the mat beneath us. And we allow those places to grow heavier, to relax, to soften, to imprint downward. And as you move towards stillness, you might feel a slight tingle through the body from all that shifting of energy, from all that radiating of heat from your center outward. Whatever that heat from your center looked like at the beginning of your practice, if it had a color, let's bring that back into our mind's eye now. Maintaining that light, that energy, that heat through your entire body. All the way down to the tips of the toes. All the way down to the tips of the fingers. All the way up through the crown of the head. You are vibrant. As we lie here, allowing this energy to infuse through our entire beings, we might start to expand it outward even further than the barrier of our skin. Outward into the room around us, the beings around us. Outward into the community around us. We can share the benefits of our practice with all of those that our lives touch. Please take your time here if you have the space in your day to rest a few moments longer. Allow yourself to have that rest. Enjoy it. If you're ready to move forward into your day, taking the lessons from your practice, gathering them within you, and starting to bring some movement back to your body. Slowly at first, and then allow that movement to grow until you feel ready to make your way to one side and lift up into a seat, only if you're ready. If you're seated, hands come together at the heart. Together we acknowledge our practice with love, with gratitude. Namaste.